I recently saw a Reddit thread that implied that Dota isn't fun when you're older and have less time to play. I also saw a video of Blitz Spanks that stated that you should quit Dota, and the intro of the video had some streamers saying that they quit the game because it's only fun when you win, which I do agree with, but it's not that simple. I disagree with both approaches. As someone who can at times even have the luxury of playing 15 games a day, I can assure you that playing more games does not equal a better experience. It's quite the contrary. Let me explain. Dota players who sometimes or most of the time feel miserable playing this game have an unhealthy relationship with the game. They have a condition set in their mind that they will only allow themselves to enjoy the game if they win. When you queue a game of Dota with the sole motivation of getting that dopamine from winning the game, you are already setting yourself up for failure. 99% of Dota players go inside the game with no bigger ambition than just winning. They autopilot and expect to win. Don't get me wrong, winning is a great goal to have, but it's not just winning. It's more so about what you are going to do to win. When you autopilot, you are only playing the game for the sake of playing, but you are still expecting to win. Autopiloting means you have no goal in mind when it comes to approaching the game. You don't think about what you will focus on improving inside the game. You only think about winning. Since your only focus is winning, you will focus on what your teammates are doing and other factors that you believe are making you lose the game, which automatically makes the game miserable for you. How do I know that is the reason behind Dota being unfun for you? Because I go through the same thing. I have days where I'm excited to wake up and queue some pubs, and I have days where I dread queuing for a ranked game. When I'm solely focused on what I'll be improving about my gameplay in the next few games, I do not care about winning or losing. I only care about how I will fix certain flaws of my gameplay. Do you think if I'm playing the game with that mentality, I would care about what my team is doing? Hell no! I'm fully locked in thinking about how I'm not going to die a single time in this game, or how I'm going to hit my timings or play the map better. And guess what? When you're focused on improving your own gameplay, you will win more. Why? Number one, you will not be focused on the flaws of your teammates, which will not fuck with your mental, because you and I both know that it's very tilting when you see what kind of stupid stuff your teammates are doing. Number two, since you are not worried about the eventual result of the game and are focused on improving certain parts of your gameplay, you will automatically be less stressed and can play at your best. Why worry about things outside of your control? Why be anxious about losing or winning when you can let things unfold whilst doing what you can to the best of your ability? When I have this mentality, I literally go to sleep thinking about how I'm going to wake up and then practice something about my gameplay. It genuinely makes me excited to play the game. The funny thing is, I play in the Immortal draft, which is by far the worst matchmaking system out of all the brackets. Sometimes I really wish I could go back in time and just play ranked roles forever. We have players picking Veno jungle or walking down mid every third game. It's actually very toxic, but I still get excited every day to play the game. I don't think there's any fault in the game. Our mentality is just amazingly flawed, and most of us are dopamine chasing fiends. If you have time to focus on anything else that isn't you, then you are not focusing hard enough on yourself. I'll repeat that. If you have time to focus on anything else that isn't you, then you are not focusing hard enough on yourself. The days where I dread queuing Dota are the days where I'm constantly anxious about what kind of teammates I'm going to get in my games that will make me lose. I have the goal to win and get MMR, not the goal to get better. I think about how if I queue a game, my next game will have a ruiner or my team will pick bad heroes, or any random excuse that is not in my control. As a result, I also flame my teammates, which is what most of us do. Now the question is, how do you get back to enjoying Dota and stop being miserable? Before I answer this question and give you actionable steps, if this video is helping you and you're enjoying it, like the video and subscribe so it can reach more people. These are my actionable steps for you. Number 1. Find something to improve in your gameplay. Trust me, there are 100 different things you can improve about your gameplay. Pick 2 to 3 and force yourself to think about improving that in the next games you play. Take me as an example. The thing I'm trying to improve in my gameplay these days is not dying as a carry in the first 15 minutes of the game, and always having better timers than the enemy carry. Think of this as a plan that you have to absolutely follow and execute no matter what happens. Number 2. Write down what you want to improve somewhere and make sure that you think about it before you press the find match button. The idea is to constantly remind yourself that this is what I'm aiming to do in my next match, rather than being a basic bitch who only thinks about winning or losing. Take my example again. After I wake up, I usually go outside for 10 minutes, and during those 10 minutes, I'm constantly talking to myself about what I'm going to do in my pubs today. And what am I going to be focusing on? It is very easy to forget this and go back to the degen mindset of winning and losing, so this part is very important. Number 3. If you find yourself queuing Dota without a goal in mind, I want you to stop queuing until you know that you are queuing the next game to work on a certain aspect of your gameplay. Once you start doing this, you will genuinely be excited to play Dota again because you will have something to look forward to that goes beyond winning and losing. If you play Dota with this mentality, you will be so focused that you won't be able to replicate that focus after a few games, so playing more games is probably going to make you play worse, so don't do that. Now I know a lot of you will say, why work so hard for a game? Well, you have two options. You can either quit this game, which is a perfectly healthy and viable option, or if you want to keep playing this game and not be miserable, play the game for fun rather than wanting to win and gain MMR. If you want to gain MMR, then you will have to do what I've suggested in this video to be able to enjoy the game and also gain MMR at the same time. You will not gain MMR if you keep playing the game on autopilot and get fixated on winning or losing. If you think this is hard to do, I offer mentality as well as gameplay coaching for every role and MMR bracket. You can check out my coaching packages on my website PainDota.com or join my Discord linked in the description. I hope this video was helpful and you start enjoying the game again.